today at my Focus RS I am installing the Summit front lower 2-point tie bar, aka Wishbone brace. Alright then, yes, this is the Summit front lower 2-point wishbone brace, also known as the 2-point front lower tie bar, and wow, it is beautiful. Another beautiful piece from Summit. This beautiful sparkly orange paint is absolutely fantastic looking. It's just perfectly done and just looks awesome. Much like our rear tie bars the last time, this is replacing a part that is already in the car, but the difference is that this is way more chunky. Like even just, I can just tell, having been under the car and seen the stock part, and then looking at this and having it in my hand, this is way more chunky, way more solidly built. I mean, look at these ends. Tubular center design, forged ends. It's going to be a really nice upgrade to the stock part, which is again very similar to our tie bars from last time, which is like a thinner tubular steel, which is then pressed at the end flat. So you know, you can see that this is a very different kind of construction. Such a solid section. It's just going to be great in terms of performance, and of course it's going to visually look really great whenever we get to see it. Of course it is going to be obscured, I suppose, by the Undertray, but you'll probably be able to see this Summit logo here and a wee bit of the orange poking through. So yeah, it's all good. It's all about the performance really. The styling is just secondary. It's going to be awesome, and the install shouldn't be too difficult. But before we get to the install, I'm going to, much like I did before and indeed in recent videos, I'm going to do some ceramic coating with our Carbon Collective Platinum wheels, which has good hardness level, hard wiring, and is resistant to heat, so it is a good choice of ceramic coat for this application. So first I'm going to alcohol wipe it down. We're going to get some drops of our platinum wheels onto our foam microfiber applicator, then we're going to wipe it on, then microfiber to remove any excess, then we'll leave it for 2 hours, then repeat. I'm just going to fly through it really quick, and then we will get to the installation. Alright then, to access our existing tie bar, we need to remove the under tray. So, we have a few fixings to remove, and to do that, we are going to need a flathead screwdriver and a T30 Torx. So what you want to do is you want to just go around the perimeter of the under tray and remove all of these T30 Torx screws. Like that. And then what you need the screwdriver for is for the little plastic clips. So they look like this. What you want to do is use your screwdriver to like pop out the middle bit, and then you can grip it, you see, like that, and then it just pulls right out. So just go around the entire perimeter, plus there's two in the middle, but one of mine fell out, which is awesome, so they're not really doing a whole lot. But yeah, just go around the entire perimeter and remove all of those fixings, and then the under tray will slide right out. Alright then, with the under tray off, we can now see our existing tie bar, which is this black thing that sits kind of just underneath where the hard pipe is. So what we have is we have a bolt and a nut on either side. We need a 15mm socket for the bolts and a bigger 18mm socket for the nuts. We just have our trusty old wrench. We have a breaker bar if they're probably going to be kind of tight to get off. And then we have a torque wrench to torque them back up whenever we get our nice new bar on. Alright, and as you can see now with those four fixings out, we can just slide our stock bar right off. Alright, here we are, the old and new side by side, and these of course are some of the fixings that we removed. Very similar to the rear tie bar. We've got a bolt and a nut. Very, very simple, very, very similar. These are in pretty good condition, which is good. Whenever we're putting these back in, I am going to put a little bit of Loctite blue on there. You can see there's a little bit on there from the factory, and I'll scooch a wee bit into the nut as well, because I believe these are Nylock nuts, but having taken them out, we don't know if that nylon has diminished a little bit, so a wee bit of Loctite blue on the end there will just serve that well. You may have noticed as well, when I was doing that, I did fly through it, of course, but I didn't use my breaker bar. This is the only breaker bar that I have, and you can see it's like the full length one, which was kind of awkward under there. So I used this old, it's actually a torque wrench, but I know you shouldn't loosen stuff with a torque wrench, but this torque wrench is on its way out. I'm going to be replacing it very, very soon. It's not a very good torque wrench, to be honest, but I used it because it gave me a little bit more length to get a little bit more torque to get those nuts and bolts loosened, and then of course I switched over to my regular 3/8. So yeah, side by side then, you can see what I was saying earlier about the stock bar being a lot less chunky than our new Summit bar. You can see them whenever they're side by side. It's probably about 50% thicker, so that's awesome. And then the main star of the show is these really big chunky ends versus the stock bar, where they've just taken this tubular steel and flattened the ends in order to just secure it on there. So I mean, this works okay, of course, but this is going to just work better. And clearly it looks absolutely fantastic. Before we do get it on, there's this plastic bit which was clicked onto there like that, and this provides the two holes for the two little plastic clips that our Undertray goes onto in the middle. Now it will just about fit onto the Summit bar, but to be honest, I'm not really too sure if it's needed, and I'm not really too sure if there is quite enough space when it's on the Summit bar to really work. I mean, as you saw at the start, for a long time I've been running with just one of these in. I'm not really too sure if these really do a whole lot, to be honest. I think the fixings around the edge are what is really holding it on. So I'm just not really, convinced that this is, providing a lot of good. So I'm gonna just leave this off. I mean, you can choose to put it on if you want, if you're doing this. Either way, I think it will be just absolutely spot on. It's probably worth noting as well, in the not too distant future, I think I'm going to replace the Undertray. Obviously, it's right beside the road, so it is right beside the road when it's wet, whenever it's raining and stuff. And if you've ever taken your Undertray off whenever it's wet, you'll see that it really absorbs a lot of water, and then there's like a river running down your garage, which isn't really fantastic. There are some really nice options on the aftermarket for aluminium Undertrays, which look really good and would be just a lot better. So I'm probably going to do that in the near future, which will sort of render this thing obsolete anyway. So I think it'll be just fine just to leave this off for now, and just get this bolted on. Alright then, so what I've done here is I've just literally put the bar onto the end of the two studs there under the car. So now we can prepare our fixings, and we're gonna be using just some simple Loctite blue. Gonna get a bit on, basically just gonna try and replicate what is already on these bolts. Then I'm gonna get a little bit of a scooch just around the top of the nuts as well. Alright, now I'm going to get these in hand tight. Alright then, we are ready just to torque up and then we'll be done. Torque wrench is set to 69 foot-pounds, which is equivalent to 93.5 Newton meters. So yeah, we're just going to torque them all up. Just so that we're nice and even, I'm going to do bolt, bolt, nut, nut, and then that'll be it. And we'll be ready to get our Undertray back on and we'll be installation complete. Well, there we go, that is the installation complete of our brand new Summit front lower tie bar, and I think it looks fantastic. The installation was pretty easy, much like the rear tie bars. Couple of bolts out on either side, a couple of bolts in with the new part, wee bit of Loctite, and you're good to go. I have no doubt it's going to perform well. It is much more sturdy than the stock piece, and yeah, all is good. I love it. I hope you like it as much as I do, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe for more content to come very, very soon. Thank you once again. Goodbye.